Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler and I was going to call this an unboxing, but I didn't have a chance to really do the unboxing video and not open these new things. So Lord knows that's I just couldn't wait. So I'm going to kind of do the first impressions type of video. I've had a little bit of time with some of these. So first and foremost, as you can already see, I've been dying to get my hands on this knife. This is the Civivi Governor. And my God, when I put it in my hand, it was my immediate favorite Civivi. But wait, there's more. It is no longer my favorite Civivi, and it actually has fallen pretty low to the bottom of the list with a few exceptions. But we're going to get into that as time goes on. I'm actually going to, in this first impressions video, going to give a full review on this Governor. Why? I've been carrying it probably for the past 4 days. Not enough time to really get a good grip on it, but I will tell you, we'll get into it, all right? This one, I'm going to open this up to get a little bit of suspense, but I put it back in there for suspense. The Isham Plethiros, or Plethiros, however you want to say it. Now, when I opened up the Governor, these two came together. When I opened up the Governor, I was like, yes. And the feel that once you get away from bearings after being on them for so long, that it feels good to feel a little bit of friction and you feel that little snap. So I get this and I'm like, I was so excited for the Governor. I get this guy and I'm like, Well, these have kind of swapped. This is not my favorite. I will tell you, this is not my favorite, but this has won me over quite some, but I'm not going to review this yet because I haven't given it a significant chance. Last but not least, I'm going to do this a little off screen so I can do this right. I said the reason I got this black... Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. Well, I'm dumb. Was not paying attention at all. I was going to change out my black knife for that, or my black background for this. Okay? Because I saw it on Birdshot IV, and it worked. I loved it. And I thought it was going to be too much going on in the background, and I'm like, you know what? It would be so cool to show everybody behind the scenes, like, how you come up with this is a drop point, this is that, and to compare it to the other knife shapes, or the other blade shapes, and, this and that. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Well, my dumbass just opened that up, and it's a friggin' poster. It's not a... Anyways, okay. That one's going to go back. We're going to get the poster version, or the... this version. On to my review of the Governor. Now, this is a relative first impressions review. That being said, I really truly believe that this thing needs a good crack across the chin for several reasons. Let's go over the specs and then we'll talk about this Governor. I love the blade shape. I love the size of the blade. The overall length of this knife is coming in at 8.625 inches. The blade length is a whopping 3.875, okay? The cutting edge is a 3.75 because of this little, I guess it's a sharpening choil kind of thing there. The width of the blade is 1 inch. The thickness of the blade is coming in at 0.12 inches. It's relatively thin. It's pretty nice. It is a D2 steel it is a drop point style blade with a hollow grind and a satin finish. The handle width is 1 inch. This is G10 and this whole thing weighs 4.22 ounces, which really isn't that bad for the blade length to weight ratio. Yes, it doesn't meet that requirement. That being said, it's pretty darn close. Obviously, we got a ambidextrous deep carry pocket clip right here. It carries really nicely. It's on thumb studs, which is another exciting part of this, right? It's on thumb studs. So, not your typical Civivi flipper. And I missed that sound, right? I missed it. Okay. So, I've kind of gone over a little bit of the specs. We'll talk about it comes in a gray, black, and blue, and they all come in at $55.25. The Damascus is currently sold out. As of 7/9/2020 at 6 p.m. at night, the Damascus steel on this is sold out. The ergos, not great, but not awful. You know, you can kind of grip it where you need to. You fall relatively right here. It's got a little bit of a spot for your thumb up here, but not much. You know, it's not one that you're really going to bear down on, which is unique because the blade shape or the blade length is so long. But then again, when you think about a knife that you bear down on, you don't bear down on a big knife. You bear down on those short knives that you can really get into and go at it. So you can't be too mad at that. It feels all right. It's got this nice G10 backspacer here. Super simple to take apart. Spoiler alert, I already have. Nice Civivi logo. This is the first Civivi I don't get to say, it's got that typical Civivi action to it. Nope, it does not. It is on phosphor bronze bearing, or phosphor bronze washers. Uniquely enough, I think I forgot that point up until this point in the video. That's why I was so excited, guys. I was so excited for a thumb stud flipper with phosphor bronze washers from Civivi, just knowing they're going to get this action right, and it's going to feel great. When I first opened it up, I was like, yeah, I miss that warm thud and I miss the friction feel as it goes on those washers, you know. And then I did this. All right, let's see how good. That's what it takes to close that damn knife. Now, for all of us who are spoiled by the Civivi lineup and everything else that's out there, yes, that is what the old school knives were. You know, it's actually a pretty good action. You can flip it open, no problem. You can flip it back with your finger, no problem. We're spoiled. And that is perfectly okay. You know why? Because we grew up in the spoiled era, or maybe you're coming to it from 10 years ago and you're still a knife nut. Whatever the case is, it's okay to be spoiled because that's where the new generation of knives are going. And this just... my heart sank. I picked it up and I love the knife so much, and then I tried to just fidget with it. You know, I'm more of a fidgety knife guy than I am a practical use. I gotta be honest. I love finding a practical use, but I run a shop at work. I don't actually do the work most of the time. So it's like one of those things where you're like, you know, you get out there, you get some stuff done, but even when you're doing it, you're dealing with molten aluminum. You really can't cut molten aluminum with you know what I mean. So I fidget with my knives, which is why the fidgety knives work great. All right, this is not a fidgety knife. Let's jump into some size comparisons, just so you guys get the overall gravity of how big this knife is. And then I'm going to show you one thing that's going to blow your mind. So we'll first jump into what has won my heart back, the Backlash. She's a beautiful beach. Coming in at about 3.5 inches. I think it's about 3.45. It's a little under 3.5, I think. I'm going to do a couple different Civivis, just so you can kind of get a grip on what's actually... There's the Praxis. As you can see, the Praxis... See if I can get this for you guys without freaking cutting myself. Let's see here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch shorter overall. I don't know my specs off the top of my head, but by the looks of it, it wouldn't surprise me. Let's put these away. We can leave the Backlash out there because that's my boy. And let's give you a little bit of the Duros, which is by far and large my favorite 3-inch knife. That thing is friggin' awesome. Obviously dwarfs in comparison with this guy. Shut it out so we don't be unsafe. We'll give the Elementum, just to kind of once again give you guys a little bit of a perspective for those Civivi nuts out there. Very similar to the Duros, not as manly, a little bit more slender. All right, I'm gonna save my talking point once again for last, so let's get into my customized Manix 2. By customized, I mean I swapped out the scales. As I said before, I have a video of me swapping out those scales. Have not put it up there because I don't know if I want to embarrass myself yet, but here's my Manix 2 and my Tenacious. Alrighty. So, wait, that's the wrong friggin' knife. My Manix 2, I haven't been giving as much pocket time as I truly want to. Reason being, I'm really focused on trying to learn the knives I got to learn for this channel to give you guys the best reviews possible. So I actually have an idea of what I'm talking about. I don't just open the box and say, okay, this is your knife. These are the specs. Yes, I read the specs from a sheet that I probably pulled off of several different websites, cross-checked and whatever. But I do not want to just pull it out and try to give you an overall opinion on it without actually giving you an opinion that means a damn. All right? Our ProTech Newport. Once again, don't carry that knife enough. Any knife that's a Civivi, I want to carry so bad, but because I'm trying to really do this, I just don't. All right? Eventually, once I settle down and stop being a little slut with knives. Okay. And our Rat Model 1. So there's your comparisons. My Rats 1 and 2 have gone on strike for the day. I have a lot of videos that I'm trying to get out. Long story short, I don't have time to kind of mess with them, and they kind of looked a little grumpy when I looked at them today. So this is what I wanted to talk about. This right here. These two knives. Very similar in size. Very similar in size. Hold on. This one. All right. Very cool blade shape here. Very aesthetically pleasing. Looks like you're going to go shank somebody, I guess. Don't recommend it. Do not support it. None of that crap. I shouldn't have said that. Moving on. Do you guys hear that? That is a Rat Model 1 that I have not taken apart. Keep that in mind. I have not taken that guy apart. I might have dropped a couple drops of lube in from the top, but I have not done anything with that. That is also on phosphor bronze bearing or washers. Yes, phosphor bronze washers. I wasn't sure if it was the 9-1 or not. One more time. The Rat 1. Now, are you freaking kidding me? Just the opening action alone. A Civivi versus the AUS-8 Rat 1. I believe that AUS-8 Rat 1, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but it's approximately $32. Freaking the, oh God, I was like, this reminds me of the Rat 1 when I first opened up that Governor. And then I go and I open the Rat 1 and I'm like, oh, wow. Just the feeling, just the feeling of that. And it sounds so stupid. I'm talking about a Rat 1 like, oh, but realistically, that thing has freaking fantastic action. And it has a freaking fantastic feel, and it is so gratifying to open. Now this guy, meanwhile, it takes a lumberjack to freaking close it without touching the blade. All right, we're good. I want you guys to watch this. Oh, I'm dumb. Do we see that? Does everybody see that? And does everybody kind of process what just happened here? The Rat 1, which has been out for God knows how long, versus the Civivi Governor, which is like, I think this came out in the end of 2019. Obviously, the Rat 1 has less cutting edge. Obviously. But if you look at it, this freaking thing is a slicer from hell. That's why this is such a good knife. That knife is so damn slicey just because of that full blade flat grind. Yes, we have this awesome hollow grind, which I was in love with from Civivi and still am. But, you know, I mean, if this knife wins, which I don't believe it does, if that blade wins, it's not by much. And I really, honestly, guys, I think this blade still cuts better. Haven't done a test with it. Granted, it's AUS-8 versus D2. Take that for what you will. Been watching too much of Super Steel Steve, learning a ton about steel and all that crap. So go and watch him. He doesn't even know I exist. That's not the point. The dude's hilarious and probably the smartest knife guy that you've ever listened to, or I've ever listened to up until this point. It's not giving too much credit. You guys are supposed to watch me. All right, watch me. Once again, let's show this. All I did was drop a little bit of oil into there. That, compared with that, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Let's take another look at this. One more thing I wanted to point out before I let you guys go. What I say about these ergos, they're okay, right? Now this is a much better looking knife. That is all it has on this freaking Rat 1. This actually reminds me of kind of like the Spyderco, how they jimp up back here. They got this jimping for your finger and then it comes up so that when you grab it, your fingers fall into here and you can bear down. I remember how I said you can't bear down on a big knife? You can bear down on this knife. This thing is not going frickin' anywhere. And God, does this feel comfortable? I feel the pocket clip, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, you feel it, that's it. It doesn't feel like a hot spot. I'll be honest, I barely feel this pocket clip. That being said, I don't feel like I can bear down on this. So what am I saying? I am saying I am going to give the governor another month or so of relative pocket time every now and then, and I'm going to try to break it in hopes that it really, really surprises me later on. But I have taken this apart. I have polished the washers. I have put lubrication on the washers, lubed everything up, tightened it down to perfection to where you can't have any blade play, but it's just perfect going up. And the action sucks. All I did was drop a couple things of lube into this. That's it. If I had to do this, you guys would be... ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, and just irritates the shit out of me. Long story short, at this point in time, the governor, which I was so excited for... Get the fuck out of here. Boom. If you want a Civivi governor, and you want it because of the way it looks, get it. But right now, there is no way in hell I can tell you to get the Civivi governor over the Rat Model 1, which is just a benchmark knife in the industry. I mean, it hasn't even... It's an awesome knife, but yes, it's been around for forever. There's nothing special about it. It's just badass. 30-some bucks for the Aus 8. If you don't mind sharpening, this is the way to go. Do you want a D2? Pay 45 or 48. You're still paying less than this guy. Don't get a governor. I can't stress that enough unless you're buying it for aesthetic appeal, or in a month, if this breaks in, I'll come back and change my tune. Disappointed the crap out of me. Get a Rat 1 over the Civivi governor. I hate saying that. I hate saying it. I love the Rat 1, but I hate saying that. I was so excited for you. That's it for this video today, guys. Not today. That's it for this current video. I'm going to do a couple more. And thanks for watching. Stay safe. Stay COVID-free. Riots are done, so all you getting free TVs and selling them on Amazon, go buy some knives, but do not buy rip-off knives. I will have a segment in the future about rip-off knives. And spoiler alert, you and I, whoever is watching, we're going to wage war on clone knives. And I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to rip them off and how to get them for free and get these counterfeit frickin' knives out of the market. Spoiler, hint, hint, soon to come. Not today. Don't cut yourself. This has been Everyday EDC. Thanks for watching, guys.